Hey guys, Lombard and Kid here. Yeah! I'm just messing with you. Welcome back to 144.3. This is the last of my books that I got this week, or I should say last Wednesday. It's all the Marvel books. So I have uh, 12 Marvel books. So here we go. Let's get right into it. Some of these series actually coming to an end. I have one that is pretty much the last issue. Of course, I got me a lot of arachnid characters in here, but let's get on with this, shall we? All right. So first off, we're gonna start off with is all new invaders. Sorry about the glare. Number 15. Mr. Robinson, you did a fantastic job with this series. I apologize once again with the glare. This was a really good 15-parter. I guess this was just a maxi series. I thought it was more of an ongoing, but this issue pretty much is the penultimate issue. This is it. So what can we say about this? What can I say? Well, pretty much we have Jim Hammond and Namor talking to Steve. Steve, they come and they're saying, Steve, why did you ask us to come here? And it's kind of, in a sense, Steve is feeling like, I was thinking, like, yo, Steve, what the hell are you doing? I know you're older, but, you know, and basically what he said was, he brought him to this location because this is where the Avengers first found him, floating so, and he even goes on to say, this is where Avengers first found me, and this is also because of when Namor threw me out in the water. And Namor said, you know, I apologize about that a lot of times already. It was really funny. I love the banter that all three of them had together. You know, these are old friends. They've been together for a long time. And, you know, Steve is going on talking about, you know, I'm not getting senile. I'm not going to try to jump and kill myself, things like that. And he talks about how, you know, look, I may not be Captain America anymore, but and I thank you, Mr. Robinson, for pointing that out. He even says, like, I've lost my abilities before, but this has never happened to me before. So basically admitting, once again, keeping a lot of canon that, yes, Steve has lost his abilities before, but him de-aging like this has never happened. So, then Steve starts to go, so what happened between those neo-Nazis that you were fighting? And Jim goes on to tell a story about what happened, and he says everybody did their work, everybody was on point. He even praises Sam, and you know, even talks about his old partner Toro, who was a mutant, and now he has some latent inhuman abilities that are able him to increase his abilities. I'm still on the fence about making Toro, Jim Hammond's old partner, an inhuman, but I'm okay with that. But this was just a really good issue, and I'm glad to see that Mr. Robinson has said, look out for these characters, Iron Cross, Radiance, and all these, because you're going to see them. They may pop up in another book or two. Good. I don't want to see these characters get obscured and you don't see them again. But this was a good issue. Thank you, Mr. Robinson, for the tale of the all-new invaders. Looking forward to seeing what else you write for Marvel. But this was good. Thank you very much. All right, let's move on to all-new X-Men. Sorry about that, Claire. All-new X-Men number 38. This is the Black Vortex Part 4. Bendis and Soranito does the artwork. I haven't seen Andrea Sorino in a while, since his artwork on Red Lanterns. But basically, this is continuing the story of what happened in last issue. Very much Beast, Angel, and Gamora, who have been altered by the Black Vortex, are attacked by a certain someone. I'm not going to spoil who that was. The rest of the team survived their encounter, and they know that they're outmatched. They need some help. And who comes to their aid? Well, somebody who hasn't been with the all-new X-Men in a while. You should all know who that is. But other than that, it was cool. Interesting indeed. I didn't mind it too much. But all-new X-Men number 38. Pretty good. Alright, we move on to Amazing Spider-Man number 715. Yes, I'm not saying 15, guys. 715. This is the epilogue of Spider-Verse. Stan Slott. Really wish this was your last issue, dude. This you should have went out like this. So pretty much all the spiders are saying goodbye, heading back to their own Earths. I love what went down with May. I'm not going to spoil everything with May, but let's just say this: we're going to see some more of May. Uncle Ben, the Ben from the post-apocalyptic world, is going to stay with May and Benji and two other individuals that are very close to May. I'm not spoiling who that is, but it was good to see May did not cross that line of killing. And you just see a lot of the other spiders going off to their world, including Gwen and even Miguel. Spider Ham, Peter Porker, he's going off to his world. And then all of a sudden, that's where the dick himself, Doc Ock, starts to mess with the web of life. He's starting to cut it and shit and things like that because he knows his destiny. And it's just like, and I knew this motherfucker was gonna do some stupid shit like that. I knew this, and I was just like, dumb motherfucker. So it's up to Peter, Ayana Corazon, Spider-Woman, Spider-Girl of 616, Spider-Woman Jessica Drew, to deal with this guy, and Spider-Man UK, Spidey UK, it's just so stupid because Gwen and Miguel wanted to stay, but Peter was like, no, go home, and they went home. Peter's able to just knock the crap out of Ock. It's to the point where even Peter's is wailing on Ock, and you just see Ock saying, I yield. It was like, God. And you got to remember, Peter is still kind of drained from what happened in the last issue. Oh yeah, and Silk was there too. I forgot about her. Yeah, she was there. But she didn't do anything. So, but basically, he realizes that there needs to be a web weaver, and I'm not going to spoil who the web weaver is. But what I will say is that finally, Julia Carpenter, the former Spider-Woman, and now the current Madam Web, has come out of her coma, which I enjoyed. I was like, thank you, finally she's out of her coma. But they send Ock back to his period in time, and there's some certain things that go down with Ayana Corazon and Spidey UK. Not going to spoil what happens to them. Peter is still, a little upset over the fact that he's lost his brother. Kane Parker, maybe a clone, but it is his brother. He's lost him. However, something comes out of there that I was like, ooh, okay. I'm not going to spoil what happens there. But this kind of just gives Peter a little bit more sense that, you know, he's ready to really take on the, I don't know why this is all big for him. I felt that was really stupid for Slott to write, like saying just because he led this group of spider men and women, now he's ready to take on the responsibility to running his own company. I'm like, really, Slott? Come on, that's stupid. Stop writing Peter like that. Like, stop it. I really hate when they write him like that. Like, he's not really focused on that kind of stuff. Bullshit. Anyway, this was okay. It was pretty good. It left a lot of things open. I'm looking forward to what goes on with the certain characters, some of them from Spider-Verse. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens to May. But I'm looking forward to reading those point one issues that Jerry Conway is coming back to writing Spidey. Thank you. Somebody else besides Slott. I wish it was the real. I really wish Jerry Conway was taking over Spider-Man, but what do I know? I'm just a fan. Amazing X-Men number 17. Yosh, we pretty much get a reveal of who the new Juggernaut is. The future Juggernaut is, and I'm not gonna spoil a damn thing of who it is, but I will say this: I gotta give Kane Marco, the former Juggernaut, some credit. This dude was taking on the X-Men with his bare hands, no powers, no nothing. I mean, he's like in this mode of like, admit it, you killed my brother, you killed my brother. I'm like, and I love how Bobby is like, wait a minute, you're a big hypocrite. You tried to kill him plenty of times. And it's just like, it is kind of like hypocritical of Kane to be like that. I'm like, dude, you tried to kill Xavier plenty of times. So, but he's all like, yeah, it wasn't the Phoenix, it was Summers, wasn't it? And, you know, North Star even said it. All right, Marco, you want the truth? Yeah. Summers did kill. Now, get over it. I was like, damn, North Star, like, Jean Paul, come on, damn. But this was good. It's interesting to see who is the new Juggernaut, and thank you, Yosh, for not making Colossus the Juggernaut again. Thank you, God. But just seeing who it is, like I said, I'm not spoiling a damn thing who that is. Once I saw who the new Juggernaut, I was like, oh my God, I haven't seen this character in years. Okay, way to go, Yosh. Good stuff. All right, Daredevil, the Man Without Fear, number 13. I really would say probably should be in the 600s because Daredevil, Daredevil should be in. I think he made it to 600. I could be wrong. But anyway, Magic Mark Waid continues. Just this issue is mainly more about Kirsten McDuffie, Matt's girlfriend. In the last issue, we saw Matt reveal that he told her he loved her. Now, Matt has this thing about himself in his head, and I've always known this about Daredevil. He always feels that any woman that kind of falls in love with him is destined to die, or something bad is going to happen to him. The life of Daredevil. And you got Foggy telling him, like, dude, you could be such an idiot sometimes. And trust me, Foggy is like one of the only people that can actually get away in saying that. However, Kirsten gets kidnapped. I'm not going to spoil who kidnaps her, but Daredevil thinks it's one of his villains, but it's not. I'm not going to spoil that. And Kirsten's like really happy about it after when she's like, yeah, I got my own villain, yay. I thought that was stupid, but it was funny. We get another good appearance from the Shroud. It's good to see the Shroud. And something else happens at the end, but I'm just like, ooh, Mr. Waid, where are you going at with this? I like this. This is good stuff. It's going to be real sad to see Mr. Wade leave Daredevil, but you made me very proud to be a Daredevil fan, Mr. Wade, and I've constantly told you that many times on Twitter, that you do just anything you touch, it just is like, you can truly see that he really enjoys writing these characters, and he kind of keeps it a blend of old school writing and new school, which I enjoy. Daredevil 13, very good. Alright, New Avengers number 30, yeah, this is 30, Hickman. I dig that Alan Davis cover of Captain Britain and the Captain Britain Corps on the cover. So pretty much, without spoiling too much because I would go too much into detail for Hickman, this is Hickman we're talking about. Pretty much, Hank Pym has come back. He's Yellow Jacket here. He's not Giant Man or Ant-Man or anything like that. And he reveals a little bit more about those white-faced characters that are called themselves the Beyonders. And I remember all of them are saying, wait, these are not the same, this is not the same Beyonder that we all know. And he's like, so there's more of them. He's like, and Hank is like, yes. And he goes on to show what these guys have been doing in the multiverse. And the ending, oh my fucking god, excuse my language, what they did to a certain character, let me just put it like this, the Living Tribunal. Man, it was good, not bad. So yeah, that's all you're gonna get. Alright, so let's move on. Here we go, guys. Dun, 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 dun. Yes, damn it, that glare. Spider-Gwen number 1. Here it is, Lator Rodriguez. So, what has been going on since Gwen has returned back to her time? Well, she's been back for approximately, I believe, 3 days. I think that's what it's been, and she said. Let me make sure. Yeah, she's been back 3 full days. She hasn't talked to her father. We get to see the Ben Grimm of her world, which was really interesting to see. Her father, Captain Stacy, has been trying to get people to realize that Spider-Woman here is not a criminal, you know, things like that. It's kind of going back to the old days of, you know, Spider-Man being a menace, you know, but he's also been taken off the special task force as the leader of it, and they showcase who is his replacement. And I think I know who that is. It's her version of a certain character. I'm not going to spoil who it is. I think I know who it is. If you want me to reveal who it is, send me a message and I'll tell you who I think it is. But he lays the beat down on her version of the Rhino. It seems like Mary Jane and her band are really having a little bit of a problem since since Gwen has left. And this Mary Jane is kind of stuck up and not want to put her pride aside and ask Gwen to come back to being the drummer. Glory, her version of Glory Grant, even calls her out on her BS, and it was like, oh. The villain in this is cool. I'm not going to spoil who the villain is, but it's the same person who is portraying the role. But this was a very good start, and it ends on that dun 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 moment. Like, what are you gonna do, Gwen? It's like it felt like the 1980s Spider-Man cartoon where something happens and, you know, it ends on that cliffhanger. That, and you got, remember that old theme music there? Dun 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 dun. Yeah, this was good. This was really good. I enjoyed this very much. Spider-Gwen number 1. Good stuff. Good job, Mr. Lator. Very good. And we pick up Spider-Man 99. Wait, that Spider-Man 99. Spider-Man 2099. Uh, Peter David. So this was what happens when Miguel went back to supposedly year 2099. Or did he? Because he ends up in a world that was like, he's looking around, he's like, what the fuck? This isn't my world. What happened? What happened in New York? And things like that. And then he runs into a big opposition. Maelstrom, the future version of the Hulk, as you can see on the cover. And when he runs into him, he's like, Spider-Man, I like the new costume. Now, how did you get here? Things like that. And Miguel's like, no, that's not the Hulk. That's the future Hulk. That's a former or future possible Hulk. And him and Hulk kind of have it out. And look, we also know this is the Hulk we're talking about. And Spidey's good, but he even said it. He got hit once, and Miguel was like, I've never been hit that hard before. It felt like every bone in my body is broke. He gets captured by Maelstrom. I hope I'm saying his name right. Maelstrom. And he takes him back to. So pretty much Miguel is a prisoner, and he's trying to get some understanding, like what happened to this world. And a lot of it has to do with a certain company. I'm not gonna spoil who that is, but it's the ending that was cool because we get another 2099 version of a character. I will spoil who it is. It seems that Miguel isn't the only person that is captured. Strange 2099 is captured as well. Doctor Strange 2099, who is actually female. Once again, thank you, Mr. David, for bringing another version of a 2099 version of a character. This was good. I enjoyed it. I'll let you see who, for all you don't remember what Strange 2099 looked like. Here she is right here. You can see her right here. She looks more like a gypsy, but cool. Alright. We move on to Spider-Man and the X-Men number 3. So the Spidey and the kids are in the Mojo world. They're in Mojo world, and Mojo and the Chameleon, of all people, are working together. And as you all know, Mojo, he's always trying to do stuff with his television and try to get entertainment out of it. And I love how it's easy. Peter, he's known the Chameleon so long, he can see right through Chameleon's disguises. He's like, Chameleon, I know that's you. He's like, God damn it. He tried to disguise himself as Gambit. And he's like, God damn it, I should have worked on my French accent, my Cajun accent. It was so funny. You can really see now that the kids are really starting to enjoy being around Spidey. They're able to take out Mojo, which was really interesting. It was fine. The rest of the X-Men, Storm, all of them are like, when Spider-Man gets back, I'm gonna kill him. Like, he kidnapped the kids and things like that. And I'm looking at, and this is where I kind of really don't like what they're doing in terms of this. The X-Men know Spider-Man. They've worked with him countless times. They can trust him. And why are you now writing him like the X-Men don't trust Spider-Man? I don't get that. The best thing about this is finding out in one of the epilogues, says there's 3 epilogues, that Rachel Gray has found out who Spider-Man is. And she's like, oh, so that's who he is. Okay. His mind is so, like, he has a weak mind. It's like, it just screams information. Now she wants to find out why he's really here, which she's been keeping a secret from the X-Men too. There's a reason why Spider-Man is here, because it was Wolverine who found out that there could be a mole in the Jean Grey school, and he's using Spider-Man to help. That was Logan's last request for him. But it was cool. Hellion did a good job. Shark Girl was cool. Rock Slide was great. Eyeball Boy, he really shined in this issue. That was really cool to see Eyeball Boy shine. They got to fight like a lot of Spidey's old, all his rogues gallery, and all the kids are like, man, your rogues gallery is so cool. I would love to fight them for real, because it really wasn't them, but it was so cool. But this was a good, fun issue. Spider-Man and the X-Men, number 3. All right, so let's move on to Superior Iron Man, or as my mentor and bro says, Tony Stark is a dick. I love this classic cover. It's supposed to be like Tales of Suspense featuring Iron Man, but it's Tales of Superiority featuring the Superior Iron Man. This issue was pretty good. Tom Taylor gives us the origin of Kid Abomination. Alright, now we find out that Jamie, that's all we know, is that his name is Jamie. He's only 13. He's only a 13-year-old kid. Tony is running tests on him to figure out how he became who he is. We get a backstory on who his mother worked for Stark Industries, things like that. We get to see where he got kind of imploded with gamma radiation. Yeah, because you know, anything that deals with Abomination, you know, it has something to do with gamma. And yeah, he does. We also get to see a little bit. This origin was really cool, and I enjoyed that. I enjoyed what Mr. Taylor brought for this. What is also interesting is finding out who Teen Abomination's father is. Somebody very close to Tony. I'm not gonna spoil who that is. When I saw who his father was, I was like, ooh, whoa, really? Wow, that was interesting. But I'm not gonna spoil. I'm not gonna spoil who that is, guys. Sorry. But it was cool. It was really interesting. But there's more than meets the eye, because Tony is trying to remember something that happened 8 years ago, and he can't remember it. And so he goes in his archive to try to bring it back up, and it's gone. And he's like, somebody's been messing with my. And so it's like, dun dun dun. All right, now the plot even thickens even more. But this right here, issue number 5 of Superior Iron Man, was good. Mr. Taylor, you are doing a fantastic job with this. Yes, in this, Tony wasn't as much of a dick as he was in the previous issues, but you could still see the, I can't even say that, the dickness, but you can still see it's still there. Alright, so we move on to Thor Annual number 1. So it's 3 tales. Alright. It's King Thor, written by Jason Aaron's, artwork by Timothy Truman. Then there's the current Thor right now, written by Noel Stevenson and Margaret Savage. Hope I pronounced your name right, ma'am. And Young Thor, written by, if you're a wrestling fan like me, you'll know who I'm talking about. CM Punk, yeah, Phil Brooks writes the story, and Rob Guillory is the artwork. So the first story is about King Thor, the future Thor, old Thor, or can I say old God Thor? How about that? And his granddaughters. It seems that in this world, Asgard is like the only, because Midgard, Earth, there's nobody on Earth anymore, and a lot of races, or a lot of the 9 realms, are no more, and it's almost coming on his birthday. So his granddaughters are like, you know, he's going back to his garden now. The garden is Midgard, Earth. Nobody lives on Midgard anymore. So this was a really touching story of his granddaughters wanting to see kind of their grandfather smile, be happy a little bit. So what do? They use magical clay in a sense, and bring all the animals, make the animals of Midgard, you know, bring them back to Earth. And they kind of mess up a lot because it's funny because the elephants got like 4 tusks. It's really funny. And zebras got like butterfly feathers, wings. Sharks are flying, and things like that. Monkeys got like 6 or 7 arms, and they think, you know, they showed this to Thor, and he's like, and they're like, oh boy, he's mad. Look at his eye, because remember, old man Thor only has 1 eye. He looks very much like his father, and Thor is happy. He's like, this is the greatest present I ever got my granddaughters. He loves it, and it was so touching. I was like, wow, you know. And then they explained to him, we used magical clay. So what does Thor do? He takes some of the magic clay and uses it, and he makes two humans, and he named them. He didn't name them Adam and Eve. He named them Jan and Steve. So basically, one of the few mortal women that he loved, Jane Foster, and one of the few mortal men that he truly loved and respected as a brother, Steve Rogers. I thought that was really nice. Well done, Mr. Aarons. That was beautifully done. That right there was probably my favorite out of the stories. The next story deals with the Warriors 3 trying to really play games with the female Thor. Put her on like this, trying to test her and things like that. And in the end really comes in the sense that they kind of respect her. Fandral even says, like, you may not be our Thor, but you're okay. You're okay. You know? Things like that. Then the next story, which CM Punk wrote, and I gotta say, Mr. Punk, Mr. Brooks, not bad. It's kind of ironic though, sir, that you write a story about young Thor having a drinking game with Mephisto, and what's your old slogan? I don't drink, I don't smoke. You're a straight edge superstar, right? And it's all about Thor drinking. I thought that was too ironic. The irony in there was too funny. So yeah, that's pretty much it. It was more of a drinking game. You know, Thor can drink anybody under the table. He can drink this. He can do that. He drunk Hercules under the table. His own. So it was funny. And Mephisto comes, and he's just like, they don't really know who Mephisto is. They just call him the Red Man, and the Red Man. And it reminds me of Powerpuff Girls. Remember the him? Yeah, that's what instead. So, but it was funny. It was good, but I just thought it was ironic, and it was funny at the end because Thor now thought that he was worthy enough to pick up Mjolnir. He's going trying to pick it up, and then he barfs. He hurls all up the beer and stuff. It's so funny. But this was cool. I enjoyed this very much. But like I said, my favorite story had to come with the Aaron story with King Thor. That was beautifully done. I really enjoyed that very much. All right. So Thor Annual #1. And here's the last book I got, guys. Uncanny Avengers number... Damn it, that glare. Sorry about my light, guys. It's glaring. Uncanny Avengers #2. Rick Miranda, Daniel Acuna artwork is great. So we left off with Sabretooth at the clutches of the High Evolutionary of, I guess, the High Evolutionary of Counter Earth. No, yeah, Counter Earth, right? That's where they're on, right? Yeah, right. Yeah, Counter Earth, and he easily just puts a hole in Sabretooth's chest. Just went. Sabretooth falls out. And of course, you know, Victor's gonna heal, and he gets up, and then High Evolutionary's like, "Whoa, you healed from that. Impressive. I could use you." Yeah, so you know what that's gonna be. Um, Jericho Drum, Brother Voodoo is trying to figure out more about Counter Earth, and he's listening to some of the dead spirits of Counter Earth, which is interesting. We get to see what's going on with Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch. We don't get to see too much of Vision or Rogue or Sam, but it's more about how Evolutionary running tests and how much Victor can take in terms of pain and his healing, how quick is his healing, things like that. And once again, they're still playing up the fact that maybe once again the twins may not be related to Magneto, and even more, they may not even be mutants. So I'm like, that's where I have a problem. Like, really, why are you guys doing this? Is it because the movie, because of Avengers, they're not related to them? You gotta stop doing that, Marvel. Stop that. But then I must admit, I will admit this, because I'm gonna spoil it right here. We get to see Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch's sister. Yes, this seems to be their sister, because it even says, "I need you to kill your brother and sister." This is her. This is, I guess, so, what is her name? Oh, we don't know her name. We don't know her name yet, but this is their Pietro and Wanda's sister. Like I said, guys, I like this. This is good. It's fine, Mr. Remender, but I really wish y'all, Marvel, why did you start this whole fact of, like, the twins may not be related to Magneto? 40 years of history of them being related to him, and now you're just throwing it down the drain because of a movie? Because of the movie? You gotta stop doing that, Marvel. If y'all had this, I doubt y'all had this in plans of doing, so I'm not even gonna go there. I know that this has something to do with, because Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch in the Avengers are not Magneto's children. They can't be, because Magneto's still. I really don't like that, but I did like this. So, guys, that is all the Marvel books I've gotten this week. I want to thank everybody. Like I said, trying something new with my review. I wanted to break up everything. Perhaps the next review I won't. I'll see how this turns out. This may be more helpful in terms of everybody getting a chance to look at, and comment on the reviews and things like that. But other than that, this is Marvel and Kid, the Omni Geek High Lord of New York, saying peace, one love, stay tuned, keep it real, guys. As always, I'll see you guys next time with another review. And as always, you know where you can follow me. You can follow me on Tumblr, Twitter, Facebook. Here, you know where to find me. And take care, guys. Peace.